Who wants to do the recap? You guys can take turns, kind of pitching in.
Let's see. Garm was in the woods north of the tower. The rest of us were kind of camped out near the tower, and when the tribe of orcs came through, and there was hilarious. There was a lot of hilarity. So
hilarity ensued.
Yeah, Garm woke up and saw the orcs. He saw there were a couple of orcs were kind of out ahead, kind of scouting, and then a bunch more moving in the back. While I was trying to wake up the crew, and Garm basically was. I don't know who challenged who. I can't remember that part of it. Did the guy challenge you? I think the guy challenged you, or I'm sorry, the other orc challenged Garm, and they basically were gonna fight over whether or not they were gonna try to take our tower because Garm had kind of claimed it, and or whether they would kind of go around it. We also found out there were a bunch of Rust brothers that had attacked them and driven them southward, and we could see the distant like flames from them, and then basically the two humans and the elf debated amongst themselves about what to do, and then eventually Stas kind of took off trying to go loop around and see what was going on, and I think that Conn was kind of following him with his bow, and Askelon was not, was basically cowering where he stood, or he was, and then there was, back with Garm, there was a big fight, and I thought Garm was a goner after the first blows, and yeah, somebody else helped me out. I can't remember. I just remember thinking Garm was going to be dead, and he, heroically strove and bested the guy.
Go, Conn. What did you see?
I think the reason why he probably didn't get smoked was he fainted, I think, which switched up initiative order, which was key.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stas kind of stumbled out in Stas fashion and caused a distraction, kind of caused a stir, put a pause in the battle. And then Garm took advantage of that situation to stick the big dude right in the face.
Oh, right. I think I stood up and I stood up and tried to reason, parlay with them. And right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Yeah, quite.
Stas, do you remember what happened after Garm won the single combat and the orcs decided he had the right of killing the orc that he defeated, but he didn't do that. But then some orcs came out of the woods. You remember that part? Tell us a little bit about the
they brought out
migration.
The injured queen of the orcs.
The clan mother, yeah.
Who had been injured in some type of conflict. And quite a few of them were busted up. And then they took a particular path through the area when we got into our boats. And then there was a question of going in a direction that would potentially put us in the path of the orcs and how they traveled.
You didn't want to come across them again, right?
Right. So we tried to keep our distance from them. And then I can't remember, but I'm trying to look at the
Kevin,
map.
do you remember when the orcs, you let the orcs go, and there was a lot of conversation over whether or not you actually go talk to them and
Rust
try to become allies. And then as you're looking at the boats, the Rush brothers show up from the northern part.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of Rust brothers.
It was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. A couple of
Some of
dudes
those
in big
frickin'
armor,
knights. Yeah.
a boss. Like it was bad.
Dogs.
Dogs. Yeah, dogs. It was not good. There was like a dozen of them, wasn't there? There was a lot of dudes.
There was a lot of them. Yep.
Yeah.
There was.
I was trying to convince us to negotiate with the orcs to heal the clan mother, but nobody wanted to do it because we
you were like this close to like doing it. You were almost went after them and everything. Like when they were out of sight, you almost went and chased them down. But in the end, just to cut this short here, in the end, you piled into your boats, and this is still like I think 2:00 in the morning type of thing, right? It was Q1 of the next day. So under cover of darkness, you slipped down the river, avoiding the Rust brothers because a couple of them had peeled off to investigate the tower, while others were definitely tracking the orc party with the dogs. They were basically hot on the heels of where the orcs were going. I mean, they were only like an hour or two behind them, right? Something like that. But you guys slipped down the river and I think went for miles without real event. You spied a griffin at one point, I think around dawn, and you put in, if I remember correctly, and took shelter for a while until it flew away, if I have that right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got back on the water and were heading towards where you could see some buildings, which were, you can see them on the map, obviously, but that's to your eyeball, that is a series of structures sort of on the riverside, right? And we'll get to that in a minute because you got relatively close to it before we ended the session with the screech of the griffin in the sky above. So likely the same creature had returned a few miles. You're I think 6 or 12 miles past where you were, not that much for a griffin. So I think we ended right on sort of the cliffhanger of the bird, potentially you're looking to dive bomb the two boats in the river. But before I pick up there, anything else that we missed? Because there were a few other little things that went on, but maybe nothing that we need to cover in detail. Miss anything, Kevin?
Yeah, I don't have a pride. I failed my pride thing, and I think somebody gets to create a pride.
Conn has to now create one.
Yep.
Do you want to think about that for a minute, or do you have one ready?
I think let's just see how this game unfolds for at least the beginning of it.
I'm comfortable with that. Okay, just take a note of it so that you know that at some point during the game you should create your new pride. And Garm will go without his, which was I can take any blow kind of thing, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Except that big giant axe, which half destroyed your shield and bit into your shoulder, and
yep.
I can see why that one might have changed.
You did stab that guy in the face to win the battle, so
I did endure that injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe you go with I can stab any face. That's your next one.
There is no face I cannot stab.
I like that idea.
Oh my. All right. So back in the here and now here as we rejoin. The cinematic version of this probably has the camera way overhead, and we see sunlight glittering down. It's a pretty, the weather's been pretty good, I think. There's this, what looks like either a small settlement or maybe it's ruins, but if it's ruins, they look like they're in decent shape. Looks like wooden buildings that you're approaching. You're on this river flowing, out towards the sea to the east, which is your eventual destination as well. But high overhead, there's the ruffle of these massive wings in the wind and just a ear-splitting shriek from this creature that we described as weighing probably a couple of tons, right? So if it landed, your head is not even up to its shoulder. The thing is big. They're known to carry people away. They're known to carry horses away in their talons. And I think Askelon, I don't know if you revealed this to everybody, but the history of these things a little bit as being kind of a melding of animal and demon and spirit flesh that probably came from the Alder Wars before the Blood Mist, when Zygofer and the Alderlanders were fighting, all of the elves and dwarves and all that sort of stuff, and eventually tapped into demonic magic to do it. And I think the last thing that we covered a little bit was that these things are sometimes used as mounts for the Rust Brothers and the Iron Guard. This one does not appear to have anybody on its back. Wayne.
Do I know? Sorry. Does Askelon know anything about their behavior in the wild? Because we've seen this thing twice, right?
Yep.
So, assuming it's the same one, do we know anything about, what their range is, how territorial they are, and anything like that?
If I remember correctly, we covered a little bit of that last time, and you aced a lore roll, if I'm remembering right, around the
I remember
around the Griffon. So we'll let that ride session to session. And I think what I described last time is that they are in fact very territorial. It's one of the most dangerous parts is if you want, they don't range beyond their territory, but if you're in their territory and you are out in the open, you are at huge risk. Basically, they're mating pairs, so there are often two of them. And the last little tidbit I'll give you is that they are hard to control. So even when used as mounts, they sometimes get away. They sometimes sort of break their training. They're not disciplined beasts. They prefer to be sort of in the wild hunting and doing their thing. So you've probably come upon a hunting ground, right? You're probably within its domain as to where you are right now. And I will say that you're pretty close to that village. So there might be something worth investigating or thinking about there if that is an occupied place. Because this Griffon, you're within a couple of miles of where a potential settlement is, as this thing dive bombs. So as we zoom into the action, we'll bring the camera down to boat level where we see two dories ricketing and rocketing in the waves with this thunderous bird flapping its wings and screeching above you, circling and then diving. Askelon, what do you do?
I'm going to say this is a fearsome creature. I think we need to get out of its territory as fast as we can, or get under cover. Can we make it to that village, or can we? Because
you can try. You would estimate, though, with the speed of this thing, there's no way that you could go a mile or two in a boat before it can attack.
All right, so
in the moment,
there is no prepare action I know in this game, but my only spell that could possibly work is has a range of arm's length. Yeah, so I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to prep it, or I guess I will. Anybody want to switch with me?
Yeah, you could switch. If you can talk, you can switch.
Anybody would like to? I'll just say my only spell that I think would work is close range. And this thing I'm assuming is at long or something, right?
Above you, I would say long.
Okay. Yeah. I got nothing that can do anything now.
So does anybody want to switch with if they can, are they within earshot? Nope. Sounds like no. And who you know what? Let's establish one thing. Remind me again, is it Conn and Stas are in a boat and Askelon and Garm are in the other boat? Is that right?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So
yeah. Sorry.
Is it safe to say who's oaring, who's paddling in each boat?
I will take the oars because I can't fight. There you go. How's that? Go.
You're pulling the oars out of the out of where they're in the water.
I'm just going to say, give me the oars. You're the only one that can protect us, and I will grab the oars.
Okay. So you're basically going to keep the boat moving.
Yeah.
Garm, let's go to you then.
Yeah. So I imagine it's us kind of switching spots, and Garm will move kind of towards the center of the boat and get a really wide stance because the only weapon he has is his sword. And he just kind of readies himself, and he has it screeched?
Yeah.
Like made a bunch. Okay.
Yep.
Then he'll billow out a challenge to it. Like, come here, you big, weird half horse thing. He's kind of describing it terribly in broken kind of words. You smell like dog shit. Like, and that's pretty much all. I don't think there's like a ready. So he's just like, all right, here we go. And then he says, kind of quieter, he goes, Conn, bring it down.
Are you trying to manipulate this creature? I think maybe you are.
Ooh, me?
Yeah, you're trying to aggro it basically,
Sure.
right? And draw it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hearing. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, I can do that.
Roll manipulation.
Mhm.
And I'm going to randomly determine who this thing attacks, but I'm going to give you worse odds or better odds of being attacked if you're successful. So see if you can make a manipulate roll.
Okie dokie.
I know that Garm's probably really good at manipulation. Yeah, I figured
Totally is.
as much.
I would love to push this.
Do it. He yells even louder, right?
Yep.
Spits flying.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, it's 6.
All right. So guys in the other boat, the orc has stood up, drawn his sword, and is just bellowing his ass off up in the air at the thing. Just orc hollering over and over again. But so you're basically standing ready, right?
Yep.
Conn, what about you?
Who was rowing at this point, Sean? Was it Conn or was it Stas? Had we
It was
established
you.
that?
Because
I think it
you
was
were
Conn.
doing lead the way and I was scouting, right?
Cool. All right. Stas, take the oars.
Oh, okay.
And soon as Stas kind of starts to position himself, take the oars, Conn stands up in the boat, grabs his short bow. He's a fast shooter, so he doesn't have to really ready it. And I'll take aim, which is a fast action, but I can't shoot it because it's in long range. I have to wait till it gets into short range. So basically, I'm waiting, unfortunately.
Yeah, Phil, I'm willing to be flexible there. If the thing on its turn dives, I'll let you loose an arrow at it.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Let's do this. Let's mechanize the people who are rowing. What you're trying to do is get to the shore, right? So let me ask you this: are you trying to go downstream like as fast as you can towards the structures, or are you turning and heading for like one of the banks to try to get off the water ASAP? Which
Head
are you
to a
doing?
bank, Stas. Head to a bank. We don't want to be caught out on the water with this thing dive bombing over our heads.
All right.
Going to
I'll
the bank.
follow them.
Okay, so let's do this. This will give two of our characters something to do. So we'll revisit Askelon, and we'll have Stas do it when it gets to be his turn. If you guys can total up 6 successes, you can get to the bank.
Oh, using what?
Using move.
Might move.
I think.
Okay.
I think move. You know what?
All right.
Let's maybe endurance as well. Let's go with move to begin with.
All right. I'll roll.
Sean, you okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, not
Got
really,
2.
All right. Yep. So you're moving.
Hey, can I
Are you
can
low?
I push? Sorry.
You can push.
Hells to the yes.
Basically, with Year Zero engine games, if you stand to have a better result, you can push.
Sorry.
So you
Yeah,
damage your agility, but you made 2 successes. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So one of the boats turns and takes off. And you know what? Why don't we do this per boat? That would be even more fun.
Oh, I better stop pushing. Then I'm never going to have it. I'll never actually make it.
So Askelon and Garm take off for the shore, right?
Okay.
And then Conn, you have your stood up, bow drawn, arrow knocked, and the way that fast and slow actions work here, did you have to use an action to like draw the arrow, knock the arrow, and that kind of thing?
Because I'm a fast shooter, I have, because I'm a fast shooter too, ready weapons automatic for me. So I used my fast action to actually to
You're aiming. You're
I'm
aiming.
aiming with my fast action.
Got it. All right. So he's in his head, he's wishing for a longbow, but yes.
So I assume that we're going to count since we're using a skill, that this is going to count as a slow action. Our rowing.
Correct.
Okay.
That is your
All right.
action.
Cool. All right.
And I'm gonna since I amended the skill challenge here a little bit to say you each need to do it. I'm gonna say you only need 5 successes, not 6, but you each need 5 to do it.
Okay.
So I'll draw it down a little bit, but you each need to do it. It gives us the ability to have one boat lost at sea and one boat safe, and I like that. So, all right.
Sounds like a dwarf crossing a river.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right. So
Oh, Kevin!
don't bring that up. All righty. So I'm going to do this. Let me see if there's a way to randomly roll the critter. I don't think there is. All right. So I'm just going to roll a die here. The interface seems steadier tonight. You guys agree? I don't see as many quirks.
So far, so good.
Okay. And your manipulation did not work.
That is correct.
And I'm going to use you guys on my screen to in terms of who gets attacked. So Stas is 1, Conn, Askelon, and Garm. This, just so you know, I'm not.
Can't see it.
I know. Hang on.
Sorry.
That's all right. So we know we're not cheating. It's Conn. Number 2. All right. So the bird, eagle, demon monster thing turns, tucks one of its wings. So one is up, one is out, and it plunges to its left down towards the boats, pulls the other one in. So it's coming like a thunderbolt down towards you. And Conn, you're drawing a bead on it, and it's coming right at you. And you can see beak, you can see talons gleaming in the sunlight. Loose your arrow, and then it's gonna try to claw strike you.
Okay. Is it short range?
Yep.
Near? Okay, so short. So that means the aim and the range will cancel each other out. All right. So agility, marksmanship, short bow. Did that change? Modifiers. I don't have. Well, maybe I don't. Anyways, I'll look at that later. Whatever. I'll just roll. There we go.
Ooh. Hey.
Beauty.
And the arrow is a base of 1 damage. Is that right?
Yeah. So 2 damage total.
Gotcha. I need to roll something I always forget. This critter has some armor. And let's do this. And I will reveal it. So its armor does not work. It has 3 dice of armor from its very hard feathers and hide. So your arrow slips beneath the ruffle and into its throat, but it all happens so fast, the creature doesn't even react. The shaft just disappears into the mass of the thing, and then it's coming right on top of you, Conn. I would imagine you used both your actions, didn't you? So you have no defense?
Right, I'm out.
Okay, that's good to know.
Celebi.
That's not what it was supposed to do.
I like that we saw 1 failure.
It didn't roll the right ability. It's me being a goober. I know how to use the interface now, though. So
it's kind of funny because it said question mark. Then under success it says question mark, but then skulls it said 1. Like
it automates. You know how each creature has a random set of abilities, right? It automates the selection of that and the roll. I didn't realize that.
Oh,
so I had already selected one of them here.
Right.
Let's do this. That's a bit more like it. And okay, so for this slashing claw strike, there's 1 hit potentially, Conn. Oh, and you don't have any defense, right?
Nope. So I take it.
That. So you take 2 damage to your strength. If you have armor, roll your armor.
No armor.
All right. So the bird monster comes within, a couple of feet of the water as it kind of comes down and just kind of comes right past the boat. One of its talons swipes. You guys all hear Conn cry out, and blood drips into the water onto the boat. You're kind of knocked back a little bit. It didn't get a good hold of you. It didn't grab you and remove you from the boat. But the thing is gone now in this kind of rippling, thundering over the water. Its wingtips just sort of rustling, drawing little eddies along the water as it flies, and then it's going back up into the sky again. Which I think puts us to Stas.
Row your boat.
Okay, make your move roll. Look at this!
Oh,
Wow.
Stas, like,
what the what?
I can't push.
why would you? Yeah,
Get 2 more.
that's right.
Nice.
So you keep pace though with the other boat. The 2 boats are practically doing that Bugs Bunny skip thing along the water, where every time you draw the oars, the boat comes out of the water and just going along. Oh my! All right.
So that is my short, quick action. So I'm going to do a long action roll again. No.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Askelon, I think you guys didn't switch formally, did you? Like, you didn't switch initiative order.
Right.
So we let me go to round 2. There we go.
Right.
And
So
Askelon, you gonna keep on rowing?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Go for it. Nada.
Oh.
Puts his back into it. Gets 1. Getting closer to the shore. Garm.
Garm standing there. Did the Griffin stay at level with Conn?
The Griffin is flying away from the 2 boats. For a while, it's along the river, but now it's climbing again.
Gotcha. Garm.
The thing is fast.
Yeah. Garm will yell at it again. Kind of figures there's not a whole lot he can do. So he yells at it again and says, "Demon spawn, I've killed so many of your rust brother friends. Come down here and fight me." And he just continues. And he starts banging his sword on his shield, just getting real loud.
Give me a manipulation. Negative. Nope. He's got a frog in his throat. He's not very loud. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Conn, you've just had a gash opened on your shoulder or your back.
So just laboring. Oi, Stas, how much farther to the shore?
I don't know. It's dark.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm in some trouble here.
3 more successes, we'll be there.
It's sunlight now.
Sorry, Harrigan, is this thing near, short?
Let's say it is short range.
Short. Okay, so fast action, aim, and then I'm going to fire.
Sweet.
Beauty.
3.
3 damage.
And let me
Right up its hind leg. Bang.
Okay.
It's a cat, so he shoots it near the rear eye.
That's right. So take off one of those successes with its armor, and you've done 2 damage, right?
Sure. It's fine. 4 total so far.
It is an impressive shot. I'm thinking the Griffin has come out of the water like this and is now banking this way. So you have to lead it way out in front of it. Arrow just and then disappears into the mast, and there's a little shriek as you're pincushioning the thing with your arrows. And then the Griffin turns, comes back towards the 2 boats, and this time I'm going to remember how this interface works, and I'll figure out who first. So the manipulate didn't work, so it's still equal odds for all 4 of you. This is to Garm, so it must have worked. Garm.
Ooh.
Do that.
Oh, drew its attention.
Okay. All right. So the Griffin after it's hit by the arrow, it kind of turns back towards the boats directly. So it's not going to climb anymore. It's just coming straight at you. But you can see it coming beak first. You can see its head getting bigger and bigger as it's coming. Garm, you're like, oh yeah, baby. But as it's coming, its two hind legs are dragging the water a little bit. You can see kind of bursts of water going up. And then all of a sudden, those two legs kind of kick up in front of it, and the wings turn, and this creature stops maybe 10, 20 feet away from you, and it's just powerfully beating its wings. And every time it hits it, you're like, whoa, almost knocked out of the boat. And then, whoa. Mm-hmm. I would imagine Garm's got some braids and some ponytails going on. Those are all flying in the wind. And Askelon, you are in the same boat, right? I need you both. Let's see here. We'll see if you're knocked down or not. You are both going to suffer potentially. What is this thing? Hang on one second. Sorry. It's an additional. Okay. It's going to be 2 damage from the buffeting and the wind and the water kind of pounding you. And you'll also are both going to be knocked down, and we'll see if you can make a move roll if you'll be knocked out of the boat or not. So you can roll armor if you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll roll armor.
All right. So then I make a move roll.
Yep.
Son of a monkey.
Can I get a bonus because I'm actually seated?
Yes. And you're holding onto the oars. Absolutely.
1, 2, 1.
You can take one die.
Got one.
You got a success?
Yep.
And Garm, you did not. Is that right?
Correct.
That was his armor, not his move.
Oh yeah, I haven't done my move yet. I was double checking. So my armor has been damaged.
Oh,
that sucks.
Yeah. How do I do
so this is like straps breaking and pieces of leather flying off in the wind. These are, you're taking damage. You can imagine these are hurricane 100-mile-an-hour winds you're being hit with, that the thing's beating you with.
Oh, hey.
And then you have to make a move roll to see if you're still in the boat, right?
Yep. So move roll. Oh. I have rope. I might have to tie myself down if I stay in the boat. Here we go. That's not great.
Oh.
I'm gonna
take an agility damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna push. There we go.
Yes.
It's a success.
2 damage to agility. You get like twist your ankle or something.
But he's still in the boat.
That was the goal.
Yep. Yeah. And the creature is, I won't say it's stationary or motionless, but it is hanging out. This is all happening at the same time, right? So it's still beating you with wind as the two of you have successfully not had the boat tipped over and not been blown out of the boat.
I'm going to say Garm twists his ankle in the fall, and he's like falling down in the boat, and like, oh, son of, like he got it stuck between a bench or something.
Yep. And then we have Stas. And you can just see, you almost can't see the other boat because all the water is just being beat off the river into the air. You can sort of see the 2 shadowy figures of your companions still in the boat, but they are in dire straits. What does Stas do?
Row the boat.
Pull, Stas. Pull like your life depends on it.
You pull even with
Does it?
Close to
My
it.
life depends on it. Pull, damn it.
He gets you
a little closer. I think we can switch rounds now and go to round 3. So in the moment here, Askelon, you are drenched with water. The wind has subsided a bit, and you can tell that the creature is now sort of angling its wings. It's beating them down. It's about to start rising and take off.
How close is it? Is it still? Is it in
10,
near range?
10 feet? I would say near. What's near, guys?
It's got.
I think near is 10 feet.
Says a few steps, same zone as you, small room, cave.
I'll say yes, because I said 10 to 20 feet. A few steps,
Okay.
3-4 steps, you would get there.
Yeah, a few
It's
steps
pretty close
away.
to you. Yep.
All descriptors.
Do I try to row or do I?
But there is water in between.
Right. Fuck it. I'm gonna cast a spell. Hand of Doom.
Hand of Doom. It works at near.
It works at near.
All righty.
All right.
Cast that spell.
And here's how we end up in hell.
A watery grave. No.
Hell with one L.
Don't have an ingredient. Didn't happen to find that hand on the way
You
over.
could quickly lop off the hand of a certain someone in the boat with you if you wanted to.
No. I don't want to go too far down that necromancer path. All right. Well, we'll just see what this does.
Okay. Hand of Doom. 1 die. Okay.
All right.
So power level 1 damage, right?
Yes.
I don't think there's any sort of save or anything that it gets.
Nope.
No armor, nothing like that. Brings another screech from the creature, and you can see out of the corner of its eye, its black eye, looking at you, Askelon, as in like, WTF, dude. Where'd that come from? What was that?
So I think since I don't have a hand, I do this, and it like you see the like the bones in my hand, kind of glow, and then this ghostly skeletal hand kind of rises out of them and squeezes its heart. All right.
Nice. Garm, you are relatively close to it.
Right? I'll jump
Near.
after it. It's fine. Yeah. No. Garm sees the futility of what's been going on, so he sheathes his sword and he sits down. He Askelon, scoot over. He sits down on the bench, and then he'll take over rowing.
Nice.
Like work together.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure. Fast action to grab the oars. Slow action to actually put your muscle behind it. Do it.
Yep. That's a move.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh man, we're out in the middle. We still need 2 more successes. I'm going to push.
Hey, got one.
Oh,
You're within like 50 feet of the shore. You're quite close.
Nice.
And Conn.
I guess because of our position in the boat and where it attacked, we're short distance.
You're still short
Harrigan.
distance from it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So aim, fire.
Oh dear. 1.
1.
Okay. Okay. So that arrow, you're like, I got it again. And you see the arrow just skid off of its ruffled feathers on its neck. Does not strike true like the other ones did. And I think we have the Griffon next. So, all right. So Stas has not rowed yet. So the 2 boats are separated a little bit. One boat is closer to the shore than the other, just by a small amount. And I need to do who will attack, which is this. It's going to be Garm again. Stays with you. So the whatever that elven wizard did, and Garm shouting but from before has angered the creature, and it's coming for you again. And okay. This was Garm we talked about, right?
Right.
Okay, Garm. Oh, wow. Garm gets
This
lucky.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, no. So rather than, taking to the air again, like, trying to get some altitude, the thing just kind of beats its wings and bears right down on the boat that's getting away from it, that's heading for the shore. Garm, you're now rowing, so your broad back is a big target for its beak, and it comes right in. That beak opens up. Askelon, you're looking over his shoulder. You can see the thing. I mean, the thing can like bite one of his arms off. Its beak is so big. And you see its tongue in there kind of quivering. And just by chance, he rows and the thing goes right by his head and snap! It clamps shut right next to his head, and the whole thing whoosh, blows past you in the boat, back up into the air again. It just tried to bite your head off and was unsuccessful.
Like that's the name of the attack?
No, but the attack is
Okay.
Griffin throw. It was trying to bite you and then throw you.
Oh, that would have ended well.
Yeah. But it was
All right.
unsuccessful. Stas, I imagine you're rowing.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh,
Look at you go. Look at you with those 2 dice.
a push,
Yeah,
and you are
right.
both like right there. At this stage, though, I'm going to say getting, this has been hard rowing. Now it's up to endurance as to whether you can get to the shore or not. So we'll see.
Better. It's better for me.
And I'm sure it's better for Garm as well.
Well, it would have been if I didn't take all that damage.
Ah.
It's about the same now.
All right. So Askelon, you can picture you are now kind of behind the bird as it's taking off this way. Again, it's still probably short distance from you at this point and wheeling around. So it's kind of, put it this way, if the boats are here, the Griffin's kind of doing this kind of thing at this stage, right? It's not going up and dive bombing. It's in an active melee with you.
Okay. I am going to heal Garm.
Tell us how that works. What that
Well,
looks like.
Creates a portal to hell and a demon comes out.
What is this portal to
Eventually.
hell stuff?
Oh,
Um,
it's one of the results on the critical table.
Oh, I reach over and get some of the water out of the lake and splash it on his back where he's been injured, and I slap my hands on it and I call out to Flo, I guess, to help heal his wounds.
Got it. Do you have the ingredient you need and all that?
Oh, shit, I forgot. What is that?
What's the name of the spell?
Healing hands. Clay. I actually do have clay. So let me change that. I grab some of the water and I dig the clay out of my
Mix it with the clay.
pouch and grab the water like that and put it on its back.
Oh.
You're getting a mud bath. Yeah.
Nice.
He rolls so
2 points of
steadily
strength.
for his spells. What was I doing wrong?
Right?
Which will help your roll.
The coming roll. Very much so.
Yes, there's quite a moment that happens on the lake.
Right. You come here often?
Little lower.
Focus on the right arm or the left arm. That's where I took that one.
There will be no happy ending.
I'll just
dear.
focus on the shoulder. Oh, okay.
Ah, my. All right, Garm, this whatever this cold compressed mud pack he's put on your back feels good.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Let's make it to shore.
Yeah, if you're trying to get to shore, it's endurance this time.
Sounds good.
Oh dear. Big
Without
frown.
question. Son of a monkey.
He's
Man,
like, this really feels good.
Right.
Like,
you
let's
start
go the
rowing?
oars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels
didn't-
great. I just wait.
Oh, I forgot about the Griffin. Oh, sorry.
Mm.
Sorry.
Gonna push?
I did.
He did.
Oh, you
he
did
still
push.
got nothing.
And you
Yep.
got no willpower either. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
the worst result.
Lots of 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Okay. All right. So you're rowing, but the river's moving you away from the point you were aiming for. So now you have to go to a place on the shore that's a bit further away.
I imagine
Um,
he was rowing, but he was looking over his shoulder. And so we didn't make as much progress because we did a little bit of this. And he was like,
Yes, indeed.
oh, sorry.
Conn, the other boat's just a short ways ahead of you, and the Griffin's wheeling around again. You can tell for another attack. What do you do?
Shoot it again if it's within short range.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to aim and I'm going to fire.
That's 2.
Beautiful.
That is 2 damage. That
Nice.
That strikes it right in the neck.
Yes.
And you can see it visibly kind of flinch up together. Its wings come together for a moment. It breaks up its flight path. It wobbles a bit, but then gets back to its wing beating as it turns towards the boats. But
Good
definitely
shot.
hurt it. Yeah.
The hell's going to kill this thing? How many bloody arrows?
Little tiny arrows. And
Pull, Stas, pull.
it's actually Stas. So it turns towards the boat that's been flinging arrows at it this whole time, finally. And Stas, you are in harm's way as it comes bearing down on you.
Look out, Stas. It's coming in. Oh, you're in real trouble. Look at all those dice.
Okay, so hang on.
Row.
Do you see all those dice?
There's a
It's
lot
like
of
12 of
dice. Unfortunately, I can't click on that one to see all the dice.
So Stas, you're rowing as hard as you can, right? And this whole time, Conn's been up in the boat, and it's just been thup, thup, thup. He's just firing arrows as fast as he can. He's incredibly accurate. He's putting one arrow after another into the thing. There's this storm of water as it attacks the other boat. There's magic being cast. You're just focused, right? You're just like, got to make the shore. And then there's suddenly just this blinding, like someone throws a blanket over you. It's dark. There's a ruffling in your ears, like a in your ears. Conn, you turn around. The birds come past you. Stas is gone. And the Griffin is beating its wings up into the sky with Stas in its 2 back legs.
Ah!
And he's being dragged up into the sky. Oh, dear. I don't think you took damage. Let me make sure I get that right.
I don't think I take damage till you
Nope.
drop me.
That's right.
Just
I
gravity.
think the picking up is just incidental.
Hang on one sec, guys.
You pause it for just 1 second.
Stas, when he lets go, you hold on. You hold on.
Ah! Don't forget about me. Come and get me.
Okay, are those Legos he's looking at?
Yeah, it does look like Legos.
It does look like Legos. Hopefully the Griffin stays over water.
Oh,
Did the oars remain in the boat, or did you take one of them with you?
I don't think I would have let one go.
So you ripped them out of the boat?
I don't
unless
know.
they're through like iron rings
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
fair. Yeah.
I probably only would have kept one.
All right. Sorry about that. Little interruption. I'm back. So Stas, no damage, but you are being carried into the air by this thing. Higher and higher and higher. You just looking down, you just see your feet like on the water way beneath them.
I start taking it in. Start looking around. Thinking about myself. Looking around and saying, hey,
Such a wonderful view.
wait a minute. Is that the Bitter Reach way off in the distance? It looks white.
I know where to go.
That way. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me drop my oar, get out a pencil, and start mapping this out.
I'll tell you what. The next time, somebody write this down. The next time you do a lead the way, I'll give you an extra die because of the aerial view you're getting.
Oh.
Yes. All right. So that's happening, and we're at the top of the next round, and it's Askelon's turn. And Askelon, I think you hear, I believe Sean screamed. So you hear that and turn, and you see the figure being drawn up, legs kicking into the air out of the boat.
Oh my goodness.
But you guys are within like shooting distance of the shore.
But I'm not I can't row, right? Because
Garm's got the oars.
How far away is he?
I'm going to say short distance, but he will very quickly be long and then distant. He's beating his wings hard, climbing.
I could throw a dagger, but I could miss. Wait a minute, that's short. Maybe not. I'm trying to find that.
Got all this money, but no ranged combat weapons.
Man, really.
What's it going to be?
I will not hit him even if I. Well, I'm sorry. Can I throw a dagger at short? I don't even know. Sorry.
Can daggers go short? Is that what you're
I
asking?
think it
Yes.
would it not say in the equipment what the range is, or like my knife says arm's length for range, but I don't know if that's thrown.
There's two different tables though.
It says near.
Yeah.
So no. Okay. Is Garm still hurt? Strength wise?
I'm down 1 strength. 1 strength, 2 agility, 1 wits.
Okay. Well,
you could
I don't
take
have any-
you could take an oar, and we would give Garm some teamwork if you want to do that.
yeah.
If the
I'll
two
do
of you
that.
want to go side by
Yeah.
side.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sure.
Sorry
So-
to delay.
That's all right. And Garm, so if you're still focused on getting to the shore, you've now got Askelon helping. So you will take a +1 to your endurance roll to try and get there,
Perfect.
if that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm gonna do. I got nothing to help Stas.
Stas is minding his own business. And then, all right. Tell us what you do when you get to the shore, because you've made it.
Garm tries to like row. He's starting to like say it in turn, row, and he tries to take it in pretty hard because he wants to like beach it so he can jump out.
Yep.
And his goal is to jump out and get shield and sword ready because that's all he's got. And not that he has the actions, but he starts billowing at it again, trying to get its attention.
Yeah, got it. So he's pounding around on the beach, drawing a sword after having put the boat up onto the beach. Okay. Conn, you are alone in your boat now, drifting, and your companion's been plucked from the vessel.
Yep.
There is a risk if you fire an arrow. If you get some 1s, we'll see if that means you hit Stas or not.
All right. Well,
in fact, I'll just tell you now, 1s will mean you hit Stas.
1s will mean I hit Stas.
Yep.
If you push.
Yeah.
If I push.
So instead of hurting you, they'll hurt him.
If I push. I don't think I'll need to push, but okay.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. I will take a shot. It's short range still?
It is.
Okay. So aim, fast action, fire, slow action. Come on.
Oh,
yes.
look at that.
I'll take it.
I mean, you could push.
You could. You could push. Do you want to push?
No, God, no. Not putting 2 in Stas. He's going to have a hard enough time dealing with the fall. He doesn't need me putting an arrow into him.
So Stas has an amazing perspective of the boat getting smaller and smaller, and Conn standing up. And then this little black object just comes right towards you, just above your head, strikes the bird or the bird monster right in the body. And again, but has not felled it. It keeps beating its wings, going up and up and up. And I think it's the Griffin's turn.
Would it maybe have caused the Griffin to let go of Stas earlier rather than later?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, I tried.
Got to be a lot of arrows that might be in hands.
Yeah, exactly right. He can climb it.
Climb up it.
Yep.
Attention, passengers. The seatbelt sign has been put on.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to have to look up a rule here because we don't often use the falling damage rules, and we're going to test one other thing as well. So, Stas, looking down, you see that you are just about off the river onto land.
Oh God!
And the creature lets go. So we're going to do a 50-50 to see if you land on the river or on the land, and then we'll figure out how much damage you take.
Oh, it's ludicrous. It's like, it's disgusting. If you fall from 3 meters or more and hit a hard surface, the GM rolls for an attack against you. She rolls a number of base dice equal to the height of the fall in meters.
Oh my God.
minus 2. You take 1 point of damage to strength for every sword. So success she rolls. Metal armor gives no protection. So how many meters in the air is this thing?
I know somebody who's rolled 49 dice and never had a success.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I know that this is possible to survive.
It is absolutely possible.
Stas is like, no problem. So you'll just see that I just rolled 2d6. It has dropped you 15 meters. So you're about 45 feet in the air when it drops you. So you're up there. Almost 5 stories when it drops you. All right. So Phil, say that again in terms of the distance.
So if it's 15 meters, it would be 13 dice.
13 dice.
Okay. If he falls on a hard surface, right?
Yes,
Right.
unfortunately,
And-
he's not over water still. That cruel.
Well, we don't know yet. Sean, Stas, roll the die of fate. On a 4, 5, or 6, you are still over the water. On a 1, 2, or 3, you're over land, my friend. Straight up D6. Hey, look at you. You're
Oh,
over
look at that.
water. So we will cut the dice in half because you're falling into the water.
Love it.
And I think you said 13 dice, so we'll cut that to 7.
Love it.
Right? Okay. And
I could survive this. I got all my strength.
Oh, we can't see it.
I know. I'll reveal it. Don't worry.
Okay.
So Stas apparently does a perfect tin soldier and doesn't take the point into the water. Just whoosh. No splash. 10.
Yeah, right. We're all.
Good job, Stas.
So arms and legs pinwheeling and then not, and then you kind of realize you better hit the water the way you can, as flush as you can, and you do. And as he disappears beneath the waves, guys, you do see the Griffin winging away. It's like, it's got a bit of a hitch in its wing beat. It is not in good shape, and it's abandoned the fight.
All right.
Stas, what do you do? You're in the water.
I swim
Probably-
to the surface, or I go
Yeah.
from the bottom of the river to the top.
Yeah, where you almost hit the bottom.
Right. And I
You
breathe.
see this elven artifact? No, I'm kidding.
Fair enough to say that the 4 of you reconvene where Garm put the boat in. So bring the other boat in there, and Stas, you swim over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's just past the top of the hour. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll resume on the shore side, and we'll go from there. All right, so we rejoin our sodden, weary, injured crew as the second boat is pulled up onto the beach, and as Stas comes slogging out of the water, completely drenched, but uninjured somehow, miraculously.
What's up, guys? Take off like, I don't know, my tunic or something. Wring it out. Whew. Hey, I got some sights up there, though. I think I know which direction to go.
Well, that's remarkable, Stas.
How do you not have a scratch on you? Look at the three of us. How do you not have a scratch on you?
That was one heck of a dive, we'll say.
You got to go
Hit the
in
water
feet
well.
first. Feet first. Make sure you have good boots. Because I felt it. It smacked me on the bottom of my feet.
Well,
If I
we
would've
heard
went
the
head-
screams.
If I would have went head first, probably would have cracked my head open. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Do me a favor, pull the boat in. And you just see Conn lie down. He's just blood all down him. He looks horrible, Conn.
Holy shit! What happened to you, man?
What happened to me?
You should
were
have
there.
You should have got picked up by the Griffin and dropped down into the water. You would have been a lot better off.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Pull the boat up.
All right, I can do that. After all, I feel okay. I'm a little tired, but
A little tired.
yeah.
Askelon and Garm, what have you guys been doing while you've waited for these two to join you?
Pulled up the boat, got it secured. Garm, I think at this point, it's just like looking into the. Well, I guess we're not in woods, right? Like,
No, it's open. In fact, let me describe the scene a little bit. We'll say that you are about a mile from these structures that we've hinted at, we've described, not very in much detail, a couple of times. Those structures are down the river more. So in other words, they are. You guys can see the hex that you're in. I tried to drag you back to the hex map here, and you can see that there's rivers that meet, right? So the rivers are flowing to the east. So two rivers come together, and right where the two rivers come together, is what looks like a village or a set of structures or something. And now that you're not on the water and you're not sort of, on the run and not in the middle of combat, you think you do see chimney smoke coming from a couple of the structures. So the place does not look abandoned. It looks like mostly wooden buildings. And maybe halfway, maybe a little less than halfway, so maybe a quarter mile away, you see a figure standing in this long grass that separates you, looking at you. And it looks like they're either a halfling or a child. It's not a full-sized dude, at least. So somebody small standing, but at a quarter mile away, you can't make out very much.
Oh, is it daylight?
Yeah, it is.
Can't make out anything at a quarter mile unless you have a spyglass. I will use my spyglass.
Huzzah! All right, you bring that crusty old thing up, polish the front end of it a little bit, raise it to your eye, and you see, staring back at you, a dirty-faced child, a human child with messy brown hair, and he's kind of clearly trying to make out you better as well, but he doesn't have a spyglass.
Looks like there's a little one up ahead. Like a little boy.
I think we got to go here.
I
I
don't
think we
see
got to
why
see what
not.
he's. I mean,
Oh, it's better than orcs. It's better than Rust
Yeah.
Brothers. And it sure is hell better than that stupid thing that took me up at 50 feet in the air.
we should
I'll
warn him.
I'll take a chance with that little kid.
Yeah. We should warn him too about the Rust Brothers coming.
Aye.
sure would be nice to sleep not
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah, maybe a hot meal.
Any sleep would be good.
Yeah.
Are you taking all of your gear with you? Or are you leaving anything in the boats?
I'm taking my gear.
Can we make sure the boats are secure and try to cover them up a little bit so they aren't so
let's
apparent?
go for a group stealth roll. Who has the best stealth?
Probably me. 6.
Okay. I will say, yeah, 3 of you can help, I think, for this. So roll 9 dice. If you can get a success, you can cover them.
So, all right, stealth +3.
Yep. Got it.
Beauty.
And an extra success.
Beauty.
We can't even find them.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
No idea. They're secure. Even if you were to have some flood rains and the river were to come up, your boats would not be washed away. Let's say that. And so you are west of this, what looks like maybe a settlement. Do you go east towards the kid and the settlement, or do you go in a similar direction?
Garm sheathes his sword and puts his shield, kind of hangs it behind his back where he usually keeps it when he's walking, and tries to kind of loosen his shoulders up. Still a little sore. Pulls maybe his cloak above his head. When you guys take the lead.
Stas, take the lead.
All right. I'll lead the way then.
You look the less. Yeah.
Stopping wet for a bit, but hey.
Although keeping watch, scouting with the spyglass gives me a +2. Just so you know.
Okay. Have you been using that when you do your?
I don't think so. Actually.
Keep watch. Yeah, you should be. You should be doing that. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. All right. So let's do this. I was going to describe it to you as you got closer, but further away, since you have a spyglass, you start to notice some things about the village as you get closer and closer to the kid, and the kid appears to be waiting for you. He actually sits down when he sees that you're coming closer, that you're walking his way, and he's cross-legged in this long grass. You can kind of just see his neck poking up. He's just waiting. But beyond him, Stas, you see some gardens and some farm fields outside the walls of what is a palisaded village. So you're looking at what is either a village or an outpost or something. It does not look military or like a fort. The quarter is, I think, I have my timer here somewhere. Where's my calendar? I think that's right. Yes. And it is like the beginning of the second quarter, right? I think.
It's probably like, because we went 1 hex this quarter already.
Oh, you did?
Yep. We went a hex southeast, and then this was our second hex moving this quarter.
Okay, so it's actually midday then, right?
So
Let's get this.
Yeah,
let's get this right. Well, remember it's summertime, so you actually get 3/4 of sunlight.
Right.
That's right.
Morning, day, and evening.
Yeah. And okay, so sorry, Kevin. What you're saying is you traveled because you went 1 hex, did you not?
Mm-hmm.
Because I cut it off because you did the battle in the first part, right? So you did like a truncated travel for 1 quarter, and then for the second quarter, you traveled where your cursor is, and then to where my cursor is now. Mm-hmm. So that would put it right at about midday, coming up on midday. So the sun is directly overhead. It's warming your bones from, it feels good to not be on the water, to not be in some desperate battle as you have been for what seems like hours and days and weeks at this stage. And Stas, the other things you notice about the palisaded village, looks like it might be 50 or 60 people that would live in a place this size. It does have walls, but there are some structures outside the walls. There's some animals that are grazing. There's some gardens. There's some both flower gardens and vegetable gardens. There's a wooden tower outside the town, so not like a big stone tower, but more like a watchtower that someone would put up. And then the last thing you notice is that this village is in between these where these rivers meet, right? It's built on some strange looking kind of hillside where it looks like maybe there's some old ruins beneath it. So there's a lot of hummocks and hills and sort of unusual shapes and shadows in the grass that you're seeing that look like something was here like a long time ago before the village. Anything you want to do before you approach the kid?
So I would stop and point out to the rest of the group, call them forward, and say, look over there. See that? You can barely make it out. There's a watchtower. And then it looks like it's some walls around it. Probably 50 people might be in that village. And then I hand the spyglass around to each one. Well, they pass it along to each other to take a look as I point in the particular directions. And then I say, see the boy there? Looks like he's waiting for us to approach. So this may be sanctuary for us, but, they may not take too kindly to strangers traveling around.
Well, isn't this your specialty, though, Stas?
Of course. I can handle this as long as you guys keep your mouths shut and don't screw this all up.
Well, this is the moment where we get to see bringing you along this far was worth it.
Of course. Yeah. Right.
Peddler.
Any signs of the Rust brothers in any of these? What we see? There's no
What kind of signs would you be looking for?
It's a Rust Brothers camp.
heme, like
No rust or heme idolatry is visible in the spyglass.
That's
You don't
always a
see-
good thing.
You don't see dudes with big smoking incense censers. You don't see mutant horses.
The kid doesn't have a odd number of tentacles or anything like that.
Not that you can see, but he's sitting in the grass.
True.
Get closer.
Yeah, I start moving up, take the spyglass with me, whoever grab it from him.
Give me that.
Give me that thing. I start moving forward, and then if I get to probably short range, I yell to the boy, "You there? I see you there in the grass. Show yourself."
Okay. So as you shout that out, all of you notice now. You saw it with the spyglass as well. Your beloved GM forgot to mention it. There's a dragon. No, there are quite a few animals around him. So goats and cattle look like they're kind of free grazing outside the city walls. And if you had to guess, you would think he might be doing a little bit of herding, keeping them penned, keeping them from getting into trouble. But they were pretty close to the where you were just attacked by this griffin. And as you're calling out, the other three of you who are not so focused on the horizon, or not the horizon, but the long distance, you see a mess of something off to one side in the grass, and the grass is flattened. And if you peek over and kind of look at it, there's like a mess of bones and skin and meat. Something was killed here. And you're probably about 100 feet from the kid at this point when Stas is, "Hey!" calling over. If you had to guess, it was a cow that was mangled right here. The kid stands up when Stas says that.
Come here, boy.
Did you fight the griffin?
We did. It took me up into the air and dropped me on my head, and I'm here to prove it.
You're very brave, he calls over.
We mean no harm. We come in peace. We're just looking for a place to rest our head. Is it safe?
Yes. It's
What's your name?
Riversnit.
Riversnit.
Riversnit. You're welcome there. As long as you don't bring trouble.
No trouble brought. What's your name, boy?
I'm going to see if you guys can see something here. One sec. Mm-hmm. Boy says, Lems. My name is Lems. Lems.
Lems.
Get a little closer.
Stas.
50 feet. He doesn't have to yell so much anymore.
Hello,
Stas.
Hello. How long have you lived here all your life?
Oh, yes. I have.
Do you have parents?
I'm the son of the sheep herder and the goat herder.
I see.
Points to the animals that he's nearby. I'm just keeping them out of trouble, away from the griffin.
Did the griffin take that cow?
Yes.
How long ago?
Did. Well, a couple of days.
Hmm. We had just seen him earlier.
My sister was out here and she didn't watch him.
How do you defend against it?
He looks over his shoulder up at the tower. You guys are considerably closer to that now. And you think you can make out maybe like a large arbalist or some kind of big crossbow at the top of the tower. The Griffin doesn't get close because of that. But if you go too far, it gets you.
So,
are you an orc? He says to Garm.
Yes.
I've never seen an orc. I heard lots about him. He comes forward a little bit, looking at you.
Have you ever seen an elf?
Take down your hood.
He pulls it down slowly. Says, now you've seen an orc.
Pulls it back up. Kid's like, oh. Sorry, Stas, did you say something as well?
Have you ever seen an elf?
An elf. A real one. Not like a half-breed.
No.
I don't think.
I'll bow to the little kid.
Are you real?
Oh, Harrigan laughed.
Oh, Harrigan froze.
Front row. Oh, no.
Really? Are you going home? He points at the map here. Points in like this direction to the northeast. What?
You froze there, Harrigan. We lost.
You froze for.
It's telling me my connection is unstable. Hopefully, is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just heard you say the kid was saying, "Are you?" And then you said something about going north.
He said, "Are you going home?" And he just gestures over his shoulder to the northeast and east. I think the elves live that way.
Oh, many of my kind live in the north, but in fact, all of this land is my home.
I've heard that before.
You're brave. You're a very brave little boy to be out here under the wings of that griffin.
You just can't go too far. It's boring. It looks like you've had quite the times, though. He looks at the blood and the scabs.
There are worse things than being bored.
So if we approach the village, Lems, who do we ask for? Who's the elder?
The village elder is the smith. The smith's name is Stom Stom.
Stom Stom the smith?
Stom Stom. You'll know him.
Yeah. All right.
He'll be happy to see you.
Perhaps we'll have a drink together later.
He'll want all the news you can bring from the west as well. We've heard wars brewing.
We'll provide any information, of course. You stay safe out here.
I will. Hey, you! He chases after a goat that's kind of eating grass a bit too close. Pulls it back. Do the four of you carry on?
Forward.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk amidst those kind of green grass-covered ruins that I mentioned earlier, where there's clearly some like either barrows or old hovels or walls or something, but they're ancient. They've been, covered over by earth and soil, like, hundreds of years ago type of thing. The village itself looks like it's a much more recent vintage. So probably founded during the Blood Mist, like a lot of villages were, where people had to make do with where they were when it rolled in type of thing. So still couple hundred years old, right? Potentially. But certainly not like an ancient structure that dates back from sort of the Great Wars and that sort of thing. There's a couple of men up in that guard tower, and they just look down at you and say, "Aye," and you can tell they are sort of pressed into service, or they're not wearing special colors or uniforms or anything like that. So it's a couple of local guys who look like they're doing guard duty. town watchman type of thing. So are you fighting that big Griffin? You all right?
We have.
Survived it.
What's that, Conn?
I just said survived it.
Well done. Not many do. Are you here to trade?
We have some goods that may be tradable. Come with news, updates, orcs and Rust Brothers.
Oh, Stone Stom will want that.
How do we find Stam?
He's at the smithy. You can't miss it in the town.
All right.
Carry on past the tower.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. There's a few people out working the fields, and they just kind of give you the, a bit of a 2-finger wave type of thing as they're either hoeing the ground or they're weeding and that kind of thing. And there is a gate in the palisade. This is not some big ornate castle wall, right? It's a palisade where they have a contraption on the inside where they can raise the palisade door up that way, and it's open right now. And there's, I would imagine, a guy kind of leaning on a spear. It's like, travelers, when you come closer. He's got a pot helmet on his head, an old natty-looking piece of leather armor jerkin that he's wearing.
Yes, we are looking for a Stam. We have news that he may want to know about. Rust Brothers and orcs we've encountered.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he will. Were they close?
Just over the hill, a few miles up the coast on the river.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he'll want to know for sure. So are you coming in then? You're gonna chop and slake your thirst, and you're gonna trade some goods and stay for a bit.
Yes, that's what we're looking for.
All right. There's a charge for that.
Of course. How much do you
Is
need?
there a public house?
What are the copper coins called in Forbidden Lands, guys? Forgetting. I think just coppers.
Yeah, as far as I know.
It's 1 copper a day. You can return to me if you don't know how long you're staying. But it's a copper each to get in now. Public house. Yeah. There's an inn. He can see over his shoulder, Wayne. He points down the main drag. You guys can picture it. There's probably only about a dozen structures in here. It's not that big a place. And There's a couple on the outside as well. But he says, you want go to the White Raven. That's where you want to go. So each of you deduct a copper if you're going to pay him.
Yeah.
I pick it up. I pull out my pouch. 1, 2,
Hoo-hoo.
3. I give him 5. I said, that should
Whoa.
take care of it.
Oh, thank you. You're very
What's your
generous.
name? What's your name?
Olaf.
Olaf. I'm Stas. This is my band of merry men.
We're usually merrier, but the Griffin kind of beat that out of us.
Oh yeah. I thought it was eating cows or something. I could hear the screeching.
Almost ate him. I'll point at Stas.
Took me up 50 feet, dropped me. And now I'm standing here like nothing fazed me.
Relax.
True story, Olaf.
All right. Anyone mind if I give you a bit of a montage of what's in town here,
Now,
as opposed to going moment by moment? And I also want you to see, if you go to your journal entry tab, you should be able to see an entry for a river's knit, meaning river's knit.
Nick.
Yeah, river's knit. And it gives you kind of some of the basics of some of the stuff I've been describing, a few more details as well. So as you walk into the town, it's really dominated by a temple in the middle of the town to the Raven. So you are definitely not in Rust Brothers territory right now.
Right.
This is Alanders probably founded this place rather than Alderlanders, right? So they were the humans who left because they disagreed with some of the things the church was doing and how they were taking over elven and dwarven lands. They went north. They made peace with the elves and dwarves and became some of the first human settlers, right? This stock is descended from that. So they follow the raven in terms of the god or the goddess. There's a smithy. There's a trading post. There's a temple. There's an inn. There's also a tavern, which is really a watering hole. It is called the Sinkhole. And it's in, I described some of those ruins before that were kind of like piled up stones that were covered in grass and that kind of thing. If you guys have ever found ruins in the woods when you're deep into the woods walking type of thing, it's that kind of thing, old cellar depressions. This is a hollowed out, they've dug into some of these ruins and made themselves like an underground bar beneath it. So no sunlight gets in there. It's dank. The rafters are low. It's a dirt floor. So and there's no like places to sleep in there. It's just a tavern, just a bar. But then the White Raven is a relatively large but plain inn where there's a big long communal table. They specialize in serving vegetable fish stew because they got lots of tubers outside that they grow and they get fish from the river. And the other thing I didn't really cover that was outside, that let's say that you get a better view of it because it's out back, is there's a pretty large cemetery and it's walled. And in that cemetery, let's say you're looking through the, what's Garm doing here? Oh, okay. Well, you could do that. Let's say that Askelon has the best view of that. Maybe you're looking out the northern gate of the village, right? The cemetery is on the northern side, and you actually see a few of the restless dead kind of walking around inside the cemetery, which is not unusual for the Forbidden Lands, where if people have had either a troubled death or they just can't let go, they're not violent, but you don't want them going everywhere. So that's why most of the time the cemeteries have a stone wall around them. And this one indeed does. So you see a few sort of walkers or shamblers that are out there in the sunlight walking around. Townsfolk seem relatively friendly. What's the overall plan here? Going to go to the inn and get some rooms? Want to try to find Stan at the smithy?
Garm will mention, I've got some things to trade. I've got some things that need mending if we're willing to stay for a little while.
I'm willing to stay. I've got, we all need sleep and we all need rest. So
I think we could stay here almost for maybe two nights.
I think that might be good.
If they'll allow us. I don't see why they wouldn't so far.
Agreed. I'll keep a low profile.
Well, I think we should make ourselves valuable to this Stan.
The two want to get rooms at the end and maybe scope that out, and maybe the trading post, and then somebody accompany me to Stan.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Who's coming
how
with,
you splitting up?
I'll go get rooms. Garm needs to get his armor looked at.
Elves and orcs might be together, I don't know how they'll take that. Seems okay, but he was a young boy. The guard seemed a little maybe thick.
True.
Do you have any reservations?
So far, none.
I'm just not very talkative. They want a good story. I think they'll come to you or Askelon.
Well, that's why
Maybe
I'm going
Conn.
to talk to Stan. So whoever's with me, off to Stan.
Oh, he's the smithy. I want to go there first.
I'm going that way.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense. I look like, when I just look at myself, I'm all covered in blood. I need to shut it down. I'll go with Askelon.
All right.
You
There
guys
go,
can
Harrigan.
All right. I would imagine you could also gather up their packs as well for anything you don't need, so you're not going to carry all your crap around. So let's do the inn first because it's probably going to be a little shorter and sweeter. So the White Raven has a big veranda out front. It's a pretty stout building, 2-story. And as you walk in, there's the owner, our man named Arthund. It's a bald guy with big mutton chops. Oh, visitors! We haven't had visitors through in quite some time. You want rooms, food, lodging?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And yes.
Yes. There are 4 of us that are traveling together.
4 rooms, then?
No. Well, it depends. How much is it going to cost?
How big are they?
If you were to stay, he says that we have the dome, which is off the great room. So he points to a doorway that leads from where everybody is, in front of the fire, where all the tables are, where you can sup and all that sort of stuff. So in other words, there's a common barracks type of place.
Sure.
2 coppers. And he points upstairs and says 5 each for the rooms, private.
5 what? Coppers?
Yeah.
For
Per night.
I'll take a private room, at least for tonight.
1 person in a room?
Yeah, they're pretty small.
Sure. We'll do that for tonight. We all need a good rest.
Our companions, one's a human by the name of Stas, the other's an orc by the name of Garm. You won't miss him.
An orc?
Yeah.
He's
He's no trouble. He's been with us for many days now.
He's saved our
a
lives.
stalwart. Yeah, he's a stalwart companion.
Are you sure, though? There are rumors of the orcs raiding villages lately.
No, well, that might be true, but he's not part of any of that business. He's a good bloke, and he's with us. I'll vouch for him.
I'll vouch for him as well. And certainly the history of our peoples, we don't want to start holding grudges for things that happened in the past.
Conn, throw manipulate and take an extra die because Askelon's helping you.
Oh, Jesus. That's not good. Manipulate. Plus an extra one?
Yep. So no successes. Is that what I'm seeing?
I will push.
Okay. Please be all ones. Ooh. Oh.
One sec, Harrigan.
Does that put you down to 0?
No. But I just want to check something really quick for talent. I might see if I can do this one more time. Let me just take a quick look. It's the human talent. What is this?
Oh, you can use a different skill.
Yeah, if you spend a willpower point when you're about to roll for a skill, you can roll for any skill of your choice to achieve the same results. You must be able to motivate how you use the chosen skill. No, I don't think it applies here because I've already rolled for it.
Yeah, I'm going to say if you would have done it beforehand, you can substitute. And as long as you can, I think you still have to narratively justify it. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
But I think you're you passed it.
No, I'm all done.
Yeah. So what he says is, all right, but if if I lose business because I've got an orc staying here, he has to make good on that. He'll be double for his room.
Well, we'll get to that bridge when we get to that bridge.
All right. Good enough.
Make no trouble.
He gets you a couple of keys and says, should I prepare some fish stew?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's famous throughout the Ravenlands.
What about some beer and bread and butter?
All of that. He's got a helper. Her name is Jane, the pretty but filthy scullery maid. So she basically pokes her head out from the kitchen, and she's kind of got grime and dirt, and it looks like it's like weeks or months old. And her hands are kind of brown, even though she's Caucasian. She says, right, I'll get it right on it. She starts cooking. And soon enough, the food is a bowl of stew, a hearty meal. Let's see here. I'm looking at our little, I don't get to do this very often, but the list of services. 5 coppers will get you stew and ale. 3 for the stew and it's 2 for the ale.
So we're a silver piece deep at this point.
For a room and 1 meal. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's fine by me. Yeah. I just plunk the silver down, chowed down hard. And then Conn, I'm just so hammered after that fight that Askelon, I got to get to my room. I'll see you later this afternoon. And I just get up and just kind of like slowly walk. It's like that, like I've just done an hours of Pilates. Like I'm just real slow, make my way up the stairs to the room, key, open up the door, plunk my butt, take my boots off, stuff them under the bed, thinking Stas better not steal these. And, put my weapons down beside me and just, I hit the bed and I'm sawing logs as soon as possible.
I'm picturing the room being like 10 by 8. So like the worst of college dorm type scenarios.
Cool. Love it.
If you're going to go, you've got a bucket to piss in if you need to, or you can go out back to the outhouse. There's a window and there's essentially a rough-hewn bed with some straw on it. That's about what you get. Perfect. No chairs or furniture or anything like that. There is a rap on the door as you're falling asleep, and you hear Jane's voice say, "Do you need me to draw you water or anything?"
No.
Don't need anything else? Okay.
The irony of that woman asking about a bath is just sorry.
They're right next to a river. At least
exactly.
Somebody can just push her in. All
right. What's Askelon doing while Conn crawls upstairs and crawls into a ball?
Oh man, I would like to like chat and stuff, but honestly, I haven't slept either, and I've got ability sleepy. Damage. Yeah, and so I think he just
same thing.
Yeah, I think he wants to do more, but he is just so hammered too. He's just going to go to bed.
Jane offers to bring a bucket of hot water, basically, if you want to wash up. But if you turn her down,
sure.
She'll leave you alone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little more civilized than these other folks. So yeah, I will. When she brings it up, I will say, I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out a nice way of saying this.
She's in the door like, What is it, sir?
Never mind.
There's no polite way to say you want one too.
Yeah, right.
Just let me know if you need anything else. She closes the door.
I think if we could just not be disturbed. You could tell our friends that we're sleeping. They have their rooms, and we've already put their items in the rooms. Okay.
These are rough-hewn at best. You can picture the doors are the kind that have like a piece of wood with a nail through it, and you can turn the wood one way or the other. It's that kind of thing. So if someone wanted to come into this room, they just put their foot in the door, they would come right in, type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Rough hewn. Okay, unless you guys have anything more for the inn, we'll switch over to Garm and Stas. And you guys are seeing a busy little town, and certainly you go by the on the way to the smithy, you also walk past the trading post, and it doesn't even have a name. It has a portly woman, and above her is a sign that literally reads trading post. And you can see that she has a few odds and ends for sale, but it does not look like you're going to be finding any great items in her possession. You might be able to get some rations, some rope, some nails, maybe some tack, that kind of thing, maybe an old dented pot helmet type of thing. But this is not the type of place that has a large inventory that turns over all the time. But she might have money to pay for things that you guys have. but you just know where it is. Or do you keep on going to see Stan?
Yeah, well, I'm going to Stan. We can come back here, Garm.
Yep, agreed.
All right. So across the street from that large temple that I mentioned earlier, the one that kind of dominates the middle of town, you do see the smithy, and you can see the smoke pouring out of the roof of the place. It's got an open front, and you can hear the din of a hammer coming down, so you can hear it long before you can see. And inside, you can see a man that you only imagine is Stan Stom, he's maybe all of about 5'1", but he probably weighs 250 pounds, 260, 70 pounds. It's a stout fellow. Biceps are massive as his hammer's coming down. He's beating a horseshoe into shape. Bald, and he has a big white beard. He's an older fellow. And he's just hammering away as you're at the front of the shop. Ping, ding.
So every
ding.
time I try to talk, I do it when he hits
Bing.
when he hits the anvil.
Ding, ding. Eventually you get his attention.
Said, you must be Stan.
He turns. He goes, oh, he's got a big leather apron on. You can tell that it's the sort of garment he's worn for years and years. There's tons of scuffs and burn marks and everything else all over it. He takes it off, hangs it up, puts his hammer away, grabs tongs and puts the horseshoe in a bucket of water. Pulls it off, lays it aside, says, oh, I'm coming. Takes a rag, wipes off his greasy hands, comes over to you. What can I do for you? You're travelers, new to town.
My name is Stas. This is my comrade Garm.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'll wait for his reaction to see that he's an orc.
He kind of squints out. He's in the shade and you're out in the sunlight, and he kind of comes out to the edge of the shop. Am I seeing an orc here? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes. He's not part of a clan. He's an individual. Everybody's safe here.
He points a short, very stubby finger at you, and it comes closer and it taps you on the chest, Stas, like thump, thump, thump. And he does the same thing to Garm, who's much, much taller than he is. Thump, thump, thump. He goes, no trouble. We want no trouble here.
We've had trouble for the last 12 miles. We don't want any trouble. We're seeking solace for a couple nights, and then we'll be gone.
Oh, you're travelers?
Indeed. We are.
Which way are you coming from?
Coming from the west. We came down the river through the lake. Ran into Russ Brothers, orcs, and that mighty Griffon that took out one of your cows.
Griffin's been a pain in our arse.
Almost
Just
killed
moved
me,
in.
that damn thing.
You and half the village and half of our animals. It's been bothering us all season.
Have you had any intruders any encounters with the Russ Brothers or the orcs?
No, the Ross brothers are way west.
They're coming this way if they haven't been already, or they went around you.
Through all those orc lands.
Wow, they must have had an outright battle. The orcs we ran into and killed one of their clan mothers was really injured. And then not far behind them came the Russ brothers in pursuit.
He chews his lip for a minute. You can see his eyes flicker to the temple across the street. The kind of thing that Conn, if he were here, would know that the Rush brothers would burn that shit down if they were here. And he's like, you're sure it was the Rush brothers?
No question.
How far? 10 miles? 15 miles?
Was it like a hex or two? I tell him.
Yep. It's about that far.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I thought they were focused way in the west. So last I heard.
I don't know what brings them this way and I don't know how they came to be and encounter the orcs, but those orcs, they were torn up.
They were fleeing, running away.
Is that where you
Yeah,
come
they're
from
home.
then?
No, I'm from farther west.
Well, what else? This is good. I always like to hear this news, even though this is not good news. This is bad news.
We have an elf among us, another human. They'll be staying at the inn, I think, and maybe reserving some rooms.
He comes much closer. An elf, you say?
Indeed.
You're quite the group, you are.
Eclectic, if you will.
Where is he now?
Probably at the inn. We told him to go and reserve a couple rooms for us.
At the White Raven.
Maybe I can introduce you.
I'll come by tonight. To see
We
him.
all need a little bit of rest, so if we could get some hours apiece, but otherwise we have no reason to not to talk to you or convey any information to you.
Oh, I hope not. You're enjoying the comfort of our walls, of our
course.
warm beds.
Yeah. We've given up some coin, I'm sure.
Wow, we have to maintain everything you see here. When travelers come through, there's some mild taxes that must be paid.
Of course.
Right.
What news do you have of late? Anything new here?
Well, nothing like you've told me. We still have trouble in the east with the repenters. Those roads are dangerous.
What about the waterway? We've got a couple boats.
The Elia. That's the name of the river.
Yes. I think it's the one that we came up on.
Yeah. There's any sort of gestures. You can't see through the palisade, but he's like this river that goes past the front of the town.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
That's the Elia. Goes all the way to the sea, to Vivend and beyond.
How far to the sea?
All the way.
Is there a
Through
map? Does anybody have a map in the village?
Through some swamplands. Have you tried that trading post? You just walked past it when you came over here.
That way we wanted to come to you first, and then we'll go back to the trading post. But we wanted to make sure we conveyed the news of the orcs and the Rust brothers to you first.
Yeah. I'll have a dig around my trunk to see if I've got anything we can talk. Where are you going?
The Bitter Reach.
The Bitter Reach. Are you mad?
Nah, there's fortune to be there.
Oh,
One thing that might not be there either is Rust brothers or orcs.
this is true. But you're leagues from that place, and you'll freeze your gonads off. This place it's just ice and rock and death.
We hope to hit a port beforehand and get some supplies, and then we'll be trading some resources. Maybe we put you on our route.
You've got a long way to go, friend. But I guess if you've come this far, maybe you can make it.
What else is there to do? I'm not a smithy. He's not a smithy.
What else is there to do? We need to build our towns again. The blood mist is gone now, man. It's time for us to step up, trade again, establish roads, build kingdoms.
Well, hopefully when we get to the Bitter Reach, we'll be able to do that. Maybe bring back some supply chain with some good resources that aren't available down here. You know, snow, ice, cold. I laugh at him. You know.
Rocks.
He laughs too. I know, better you than me. It's supposed to be cold up there. It's bad enough here when the winter comes.
Well, I suppose we'll part ways, stop by the trading post and see what they have to offer, and then get a little bit of rest. And then maybe talk later this evening at maybe dinner.
I'll come by after and we'll have a cup.
Look forward to it.
Sounds good.
Right before, Garm's clearly letting Stas take the lead, not really wanting to talk a whole lot. But when they start to wind down the conversation, Garm will say, I do have a couple pieces of equipment that have been damaged in our travels. He kind of points at he pulls his shield out, and one of the straps is almost fallen off. And then he points at his armor that's got the clearly destroyed shoulder piece. kind of says, could you mend these, fix these?
He asked you to hand him over. Let him give him here. Let me see.
Yep. The armor takes a while. Comes up over. Hands it over.
He holds it up, kind of shakes it, pokes around where it's got damage, throws it onto a heap of other like tack and harness and stuff that he's going to work on. Yeah, I can look at that. And he takes the shield. I'll have a look. You might want to get a new one of these. I could make you one. He sets it off to the side as well. I'll have a peek, see what I can see. It'll cost you, but I'll see.
I have the coin.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
One last thing, says to Stas. You asked news. Our biggest news is that God's forsaken creature in the air eating our livestock. Did you say you had encountered it?
We did. We had some damage. Garm's taken a couple hits, and we have another individual that's been bloodied up a little bit, but we were able to, one of the elf was able to heal him a little bit. But yes, and then I was dropped 50 feet from the air.
Where are you now? Oh, a tall tale teller.
No, serious. Ask Garm, he'll tell you.
It was an amazing drop.
I saw my life flash before my eyes, but went in feet first. Fortunate. Here I am today. But yes, we saw the creature.
So you've got luck on your side then. That's what you're saying.
For sure.
I seen one of the reasons we haven't heard no news is because I've seen travelers on the road coming here get plucked right off the road by that thing. So people have been avoiding coming to Riversnit.
Is there only one?
One what?
One of those.
As far as I know. Did you see 2 or 3?
No. Thought one of my comrades might have said that they're in pairs.
Oh God, that's all we need.
Do you know where its lair is?
No, that way. Just kind of motions to the east. That's where it comes from.
How long has it been in this area?
No, more than a month now.
So not too long.
We put a bolt into it. He gestures to the tower, which you can see over the palisade. Steers clear of the town since the day we did that. But it still circles.
Well, I imagine you've been here longer than a month.
Me? Oh yeah.
Well, the village.
My whole life, this village has been here.
I wonder why you settled in this area.
Built by my great-great-grandfather.
Oh. Why you ask? I imagine you want us to get rid of him.
If you think you can, there'd be payment for that. But he kind of nods and says, why don't you give that some thought?
Well,
I can do an accounting my coffers, and we'll see. You can kill that thing. There'll be payment.
I don't know if we're a match, but if we're rested, fed, have good armor, weapons, maybe something that we're able to do.
He goes back over and puts on his apron, picks up his hammer and says, let's talk about this tonight. Maybe we can strike some deal. I like what you're talking about. But he points at Garm and says, you just stay out of trouble.
We might need a couple of more archers if you have anybody with a sure shot.
We can dig up some. We got some hunters.
All right.
Oh, this is the best news I've had in a long time since that creature showed up. It's good meeting you. Extends his hand so you can do the big forearm grip, the fantasy handshake. Hey, brother.
All right. Well, myself, Stas, Garm, we'll go and check the trading post, and then we'll see you at the end later this evening.
See you then.
It was good to meet you.
Starts pounding on his horseshoe again. Different horseshoe.
Garm, you ever listen to those smiths hammer on that anvil all the time? The guy's got to have that ringing in his ear 24/7 to drive me bonkers.
Yeah, our clansmith couldn't hear. Like you had to either write it, or really most of the time you just kind of actioned what you wanted them to make. All sorts of trouble. Make the weirdest stuff.
Ugh. I don't know how they do it.
I have heard some will take wax and they'll stick it in their ears, but then they have
Ugh.
trouble getting it out.
Oh. Some of them got to be afraid they might hit their brain,
Right? Go right through.
right? Should we check out the trading post or should we check on the other two?
Well, we definitely could. Maybe get a lay of who's in there. We'll kind of stick back again.
Yeah,
They don't
we
seem
should
to like
probably go to the
orcs.
trading post and see if they've got a map and any. I know that I think Conn needs arrows. Maybe see what they have for food, and I think I'm out of food. I'm close to it.
Oh yeah. And we had that's right. We had rolled the night before in Q3 when you were at the base of the tower. Anybody off the top of their head remember if it's a less than a common or an uncommon item? There's a way to roll, is there not, to see if something's available? Is that right? Anybody remember?
Don't recall.
I can look it up. Common, uncommon. Yep. In fact, even if it's uncommon, you have to roll. So what I'm going to tell you is you stop by the trading post. You see Fat Darfa there. So Darfa is the kind of woman who you can't tell if she's sitting or she's on a stool or maybe there's some crutches involved or something. But she's a very large woman who sits back behind several tables of her wares that are all spread out. And these wares are largely junk. Stuff that treasure hunters have dug up, but is half rusted. There's some jewelry, there's some cutlery, but most of the things that are common in those trading good lists in the book are available. We'll have to roll for anything that's not. So you can get. She probably has some third-rate arrowheads that are here. If you want to buy a sack, if you want some blankets, there are some blankets where when you pat them, some moths kind of take off and go, head up into the air. But she's like,
What can I help you with? What are you looking for?
she's rocking.
Well, this is probably. Do you have any maps?
Maps. What kind of maps are you looking for?
Anything from here east and north?
Sean, roll me a D12. If you get a 12, she will have some useful maps.
Ah, damn it.
Nah, no maps. No maps.
Are we
What
better
about-
off? Go
What
ahead.
about
Rope?
do you need rope? I've got some lovely hemp rope.
She gestures to the wall where a couple of ropes are coiled.
I've got
Cat.
rope.
Candles.
She gestures to the other side of the shop where there's a whole set of candles that look like they're made from the earwax of cows. They're lovely.
Askelon probably wants candles.
Yeah, probably.
Askelon would probably love this place. Should probably come in himself.
Yeah, I agree.
You seem the discerning types. Are you? Do you have gold? Do you have gold coins?
Perhaps,
She's
but
still
is there
rocking.
anything worth of gold here?
Come back tomorrow. I have something, but I have to fetch it. I don't keep it in the shop. Thieves. I don't keep it here.
All right, we'll come back around midday tomorrow. Maybe
Come back
it's me,
tomorrow.
maybe it's a colleague of mine. We'll be back. I don't know, Garm, do you see anything you need?
Not at the moment, but good to know that this is the type of things we could find. I'm sure Askelon will want to be here, and if you have any arrows or anything, Conn will want those.
She sits back. She also has 3 or 4 big whiskers on her chin that poke out about an inch. She says, "What about you?" She points at both of you. "Do you have anything you could trade? You've been traveling."
What have you found in your travels? Hmm? What do you have?
Fortunately,
know.
I don't really pick up random odds and ends.
I don't think I
Usually
have
I'm
anything.
carrying armor and shield and weapons.
I kill things.
I think I just
Right.
have coin.
That's what all I have is coin. And I have fishing hook and line and rope.
She is
I've a-
disappointed.
I have a bear trap, but I can't give that up.
Right. I could sell the fishing hook and line, but I feel like we're probably going to want to have that if we're going to stay on the river for a while.
We don't have anything with us, but we have a couple other individuals as a part of our party that may have some things that may be worthy of your eyes.
Keep Darfa in mind. Always willing to buy.
Good to meet you, Darfa.
She nods. Sits back. Creaking on her stool. Maybe it's a rocking chair that she's on. You can't tell. Where do the two of you go? To the White Raven? To the inn?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I've clearly drank too much water or something. Can we take a 2-minute bio break again?
Sure.
Be right back. 9:18 my time, getting close to the bottom of the hour. I think we can probably do some cleanup on the quarter actions and that sort of thing. When Stas and Garm get back to the inn, I think your rooms were paid for. Is that right, Wayne and Phil? I think somebody paid.
No, I don't know. I paid for myself for my room. Oh no,
Okay.
Yeah, because it was 5 for the room, 5 for the food, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I only paid for myself.
Okay. What about Askelon? Same thing?
You're muted.
Still muted. So muted.
Sorry, I dropped another silver to pay for both of them.
For their rooms. Okay. So if either of you want hot food and a beverage, that's another 5 coppers. When you get there, the innkeep with the mutton chops and the bald head welcomes you and says you've been expected, kind of thing. He just eyeballs the orc but doesn't say anything.
Thank you for having us.
Filthy Jane brings you your food. And you notice that she puts the bowls down. She's got the real dirt under her nails. It's been there for a long time. She's cute,
Little
though.
mushroom sticking out.
That's right. That's right. So if you want food, you got to pay. So are we counting this quarter Q3, correct, Kevin? I think it's Q3 as basically rest for all 4 of you. Is that right? I think you can throw in the conversations you've had with people and still get a rest in. So let's move the clock and recover your attributes.
And we're not sleepy.
Correct. Take off sleepy. So we'll pick up at about 6 p.m. at night when you've all had at least 4 hours. Maybe some of you have had more like 6 hours of rest. So it's enough to certainly take the edge off and you're feeling better. And Wayne, you didn't sneak that, the amulet. You didn't sneak that in your bag or anything, right? You left that in the bottom of the lake, correct?
I didn't. Yeah, I wish I had, but no.
Yep.
Pardon me.
Which means
That's why I was asking. When Stas, plunged so deep that he actually just happened to see it sitting there.
When you roll those spells tonight, you would have had an extra point of power for like at least one of them.
I know. I was quite honestly, it was more the elven, the stones that I was more concerned with. But I couldn't, since I tried to get him out of there and I couldn't get him out. That was what. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's between you and me, but that's why
we may revisit that. I did some more reading today about elves, and we may revisit that. Abandoning those. All right. So you're all up to snuff in terms of your attributes and not sleepy and all that good stuff. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What does Q4 or what's that going to look like? Are you resting more? Are you paying for another meal?
But
Are we
Okay,
going to
so
meet?
what time is
Stan?
it? So this is going to be like 6 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah. So we're moving into Q4, which is like 6 to midnight. Still pretty light outside, if you remember, because it's summer. It'll be only getting dark towards the end of this quarter.
I'm
Could
going
we
to go
train?
like walk around the town.
You can
Okay.
train.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Duh. Yeah.
You can
I
train
will
and
train.
do
Well,
XP.
actually,
Yeah.
spend some XP.
So we'll go down the line. We'll start with Conn. What's Conn going to be doing? Let me set the stage a little bit. So outside in the village, you guys know what it's like. Things are starting to quiet down a little bit. They're rounding up animals for the night. People are closing up shops if they've got them. So the smithy and the trading post will both be closed by now. People are heading home and getting meals cooking, but there's still a fair bit of activity in the town, but definitely heading towards sort of shutting her down for the day, even though it's still pretty light outside. What does Conn do?
When he's down at the inn, the innkeeper's name was it Olaf?
That is the guard.
No.
The
Sorry.
innkeeper is Arthund. Arthund. Arthund.
Arthund. Is there an archery range in the town by chance?
No,
No.
but there's an old target set up outside
Set up outside.
by the watchtower.
Oh, by the watchtower. All right, then that's where I'll go. Thank you. If any of my friends ask, that's where I am at.
Okay.
And I guess Conn, then, if it's cool, will leave. He's got his bow. He's got his quiver of arrows. That's looking a little light. I'm going to have to replenish that at some point. And he goes out to the target, and he's just going to start putting arrows as fast as can be into this thing. So I'm going to upgrade my fast shooter 2 to 3. So what that'll mean then is I'll be able to fire 2 arrows per round.
Ooh, my.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how I'm spending the quarter, Harrigan.
I won't make you roll manipulation, but you do have to convince the 2 guys up in the guard tower that it's okay to do this. This is a target that they used to shoot the
sure.
arbalist at, right?
Okay.
So it's basically a big wooden structure with a bunch of hay, kind of bales all packed into it. But you talk them into it.
Okay. Yeah, lads, please. I mean, you saw what I did to that Griffin. Well, maybe you wouldn't have seen it from up here, but I tell you, I put many arrows into it, which probably means for the next couple of days, you might have less troubles from that beast in the air. You got me to thank for that.
All right. How about it? Just
Appreciate it.
keep your boy pounded that way, away from
I
town.
know how to use this thing. Just see me just start and then walking up, pull them up.
Is this a
pulling out
wits
the
roll
arrows.
because it's a new talent, or is this
No,
like a
I've already
level-
got it.
level
Harrigan,
2?
I'm just upgrading it to 2 to 3.
Okay.
So it just happens.
You're spending some experience.
I am 9 points.
9 points. Ooh.
Mhm.
9 points.
Garm, when you roll out of your cot, what do? What's he got on tap for tonight?
He excuse me. He's been thinking a lot about how he fights in that fight against the orc, the
Mhm.
big orc, and how he's kind of seen some allies take damage in combat lately. So he's going to spend some time. I don't know how much he like actually spars or anything like that, but he's thinking of some strategies how best to make sure that he can protect the allies around him. My goal, or he's going to try to train, not try. He trains Path of the Shield too. Getting better at parrying.
Even without his shield?
Yeah, technically it doesn't have to have a shield. It's kind of a funny, like,
Oh,
you
really?
can parry, you can do it with a shield or a weapon.
Okay, fair enough. So he's got a sword,
Mm-hmm.
and he
And kind
thinks
of
about
probably
his shield.
he probably goes through some really slow motions. He tries to find like out of the way. He might actually go to Stan and say like, "Hey, I want to do some practice, but I don't want to set anybody off. Like if there's kind of a hidden building or something, or you want me to go outside.
He would send you out of the city wall, the village walls as well, just like with Conn. So basically, if you're going to be swinging that thing around and getting aggressive, in fact, he points you towards the cemetery, and there's probably some big trees out back, big sort of weeping willow type trees that you can be underneath as you do this, so you're not quite so out in the open. You don't have an orc who's out there getting better at war, when orcs are known to come through human villages and just raise them. Right. Do you have to make a wits roll, or is this level 2 as well?
Just level 2.
Okay. Askelon.
I'm going to go downstairs and ask if there is a holy person who attends the temple.
Arthur nods. Certainly, we have a Raven sister here.
Could I meet her?
Stand by. I need a name. One second, wait.
That's cool.
Okay. Arthur says, if you just go knock on the front doors of the temple, she's the only one in there, she'll answer.
Thank you. I'm going to go do that.
Okay. Askelon, you discover climbing the front steps to the temple, and this is a relatively modest structure. Probably seats all of 50 or 60 people or something like that inside for whatever services they hold. And even though it's after sort of the supper hour, by the time you get there, probably 6 or 7 p.m. or something, the 2 front doors are open. And you see a Raven sister inside in prayer. You disturb her?
I will not. I will just go. Are there places to sit?
Yep.
I will just go there and sit quietly
Benches.
until. Yeah, I'll just sit quietly until she's finished. I will not disturb her.
Okay. So
do you want me to tell you what I'm after? Just or do you want to go? Okay.
No, that's fine.
I want to try to befriend her. I want to find out if she knows the path of healing, and if she'd be willing to teach me. If she does, and if not, I want to meditate and use this time to try to train myself. Okay.
Got it.
I'm after a path of healing too. So I'm not just
You're looking to see if you can get a teacher.
correct.
Right.
The lot cheaper.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So this the Raven sister's name is Ori, Aury. Ori is tall and has long dark hair. She's clearly an Alander. Do you tell her anything? Let's not get into that yet. Let's just say that you let her know that you're a traveler and you're looking for, right? I'll say this. You think she does know the path of healing, but it's not so easy to say, hey, are you a priestess and do you know this thing? And
I know.
Teach it to me, right? So right. I think you'd probably have to spend an evening with her getting to know her before you could perhaps front that and say, hey, I'm also a spellcaster, as opposed to this is not a D&D game, right? Where it's, hey, I want to buy your magic potion.
I didn't mean it was, but yeah.
I get it. I get it.
That's why I was laying out my cards on the table. Right.
Let's do this. Let's do this. I would go with performance as well. So if you're willing to spend like a good chunk of the watch with her, I want you to roll either manipulation or performance to sort of see what you can learn from her, and if you can befriend her, at least enough to talk more honestly and openly about what you want.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely will. I'm going to, since I've already kind of done this already, I imagine that I have heard several, songs about the Raven, and in the long time I've been alive. So I will offer to sing a song that I had heard.
Okay.
And like an old one.
And have you revealed that you're an elf?
Oh yeah, I will not. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you parading around town with your ears out?
I don't think I just walked across the street, so I'm not hiding it. No, at all.
Okay. So when you roll performance, go ahead.
So I'm not gonna like go around like this, but
Right. Hey. When you roll performance, take an extra die for being elven and take an extra die for your song.
Okay.
Your Raven song. See if it works. One success is all you need.
Yeah, nice, Jay.
All right. So I think a couple of hours in, the two of you have, you've gotten to know that she is basically part of this sisterhood of, Raven followers that you know about. So she is very much tending the flock here in River's Nip. So she's not from here originally. She came here to tend the temple and look after the people and all that, and be a healer and all that sort of stuff. So I think when you break into your, let her know that you know this song, she joins you. And the two of you sing it. By the time the two of you have sung it, she reveals indeed, you reveal that not only are you an elf, but you're also a spellcaster, and know the ways of sorcery and all that kind of stuff, right? And she indeed knows the path of healing. So when the two of you get to talking, you realize that there's things you can learn from her. But I am going to say you're going to have to spend another quarter to do it, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. So Askelon basically spends the night at the temple, and I imagine sometime, she keeps the doors open a good long time. It's not like there's a regimented, opening, closing of the place. So the two of you probably reminisce and catch up about a lot of things. The fact that you're an elf, you probably know that, the Raven sisters have a special relationship with elves because elves allowed them to stay when they came into the Ravenlands instead of throwing them out, right? Like the dwarves wanted to do. The dwarves were like, nope, get them out of here. And they all let them stay, basically. So there's a lot of lore and stories and whatnot that can be exchanged. So Stas, while that's all happening, what do we see you doing?
I'm going to try to obtain Path of Gold.
And how do you do that?
I don't know. Probably watching people negotiate and go, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that should work. No,
Is it a brand new talent?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to make a wits roll, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or yeah. I'll just make the wits roll.
Before you throw it, should we combine this with anything that you're planning on doing with Stom when he comes by? Because everyone else has jetted out of the White Raven. When he comes by, kind of like, oh, I thought we were gonna have a big discussion over killing the Griffin. We could throw your negotiation skills into something with him. If you're following me.
Yeah, we could. Yes. Sure.
Okay. So your wits roll will not only let you learn this trade, but it will result in how much money you can make as well. If that makes sense.
It
so
does.
if you fail it, you'll make less, or he'll offer less. I'll say that.
Yeah.
If you pass it, he'll offer more, and you'll have learned. What does the talent actually allow you to do?
It's for Path of Gold specifically at rank 1. When you're about to buy an item, you can spend a willpower point to automatically negotiate the price down. And then the price is decreased by 1/5 for every willpower you spend.
Nice.
And you can spend a maximum of 4 willpower per item.
Okay. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there I'm going to look it up just briefly here. Is there a specific bartering mechanic?
I don't know if it's just a counter opposing rolls.
Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? Skills. And is it manipulate? Is that what's used?
I think so. It doesn't say.
I'm going to find it.
I don't know if for that particular talent it just happens. I don't think there's a role.
Yeah, I'm talking about if you don't have the talent. I'm trying to find if there are like basic rules to look at.
I don't know. Maybe they just say pound sand.
It is manipulation.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks like it's someone else's insight.
I was gonna consider level 2 Path of Lies because that could really do the job with this guy. But I don't know if I could do both. Not at once, but while we're here. See, I could benefit from both.
We'll make time.
Right. So what we could do is I guess the thought process was if I get Path of Gold, then I don't have to spend as much on food, the end, trading.
Yep.
And so that would be great because once I'm out of here, this thing's not going to come in handy. And then the other one, Path of Lies, level 2, when you manipulate, which I'd have to make a successful roll, an NPC to make him believe what you are saying, regardless of whether it's true or not, you can spend a willpower point to automatically succeed. So I can roll first and then use the talent if I fail. So what I plan on doing with that is, we're going to go and kill the Griffin and you're going to pay us all this money. And then, hey, we killed the Griffin. Woo. And then he'll go, okay, I don't believe you. And I'll be like, here's this. This is proof. And then he says, oh, okay, great. Good job.
Okay.
We just mosey the hell out of there.
Well, hold fire on that. We'll see.
Yeah.
I tell you, let's start it off this way. So when Stan comes and the two of you sit down at the table and it's like, let's get down to business.
Brass tacks.
Yep. I'm going to have you go. I'm actually going to have you go manipulation against manipulation because you're just you're basically trying to argue what it's worth type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So roll manipulation. I'll have him do the same.
Mm-hmm. God, I better get something out of this. I'm rolling 6 dice. Oh, you piece of crap.
And
So
what'd you end up with?
I got 1 success.
As you can see, you got 3. So
Of course you did.
Yep. So you feel like you could have talked him. You're trying to talk him into 10 gold coins to kill this thing.
Yeah.
He's willing to give you 6.
Oh,
It's all we've got. It's all we can afford, etc. 6 golden coins if you can take this bird down. But this is enough, Sean, to justify you making the wits roll now to see if you can. You'll still have to spend the quarter thinking about what you could have done differently and all that kind of stuff, right?
Sure. All right. So wits roll it is.
Yeah. So make your wits roll to see if you can learn the path of gold.
God.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
The lesson learned.
Yeah, damn, I should. Why did I say that?
Let him set the price first. Don't let him say, "Well, what are you looking for?" Right.
The first one who
Golden
speaks
rule.
the
Yes.
money first
That's right.
loses.
That's
Damn
right.
it. All right.
All right. So I think we've covered sort of Q4 in terms of general activities. So some training's going on. Askelon spends the night the evening in the temple, and our man Stas does some deep thinking. And you certainly don't have to agree to the offer, but in any way, shape, or form. But the current offer right now is 6 gold coins total. If you go and bring back the beak of that thing.
All right. So I'd let the group know.
Yeah. Should we call it here and pick up with Q4 next time, or are you going to sleep? Because if you guys are going to sleep, we can. It is going to be the middle of the night. It's now midnight, right? So you can picture Garm's coming back in as it's gotten dark, the sword over his shoulder. Conn coming in the other entrance with his bow, feeling good about.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to come back, Harrigan. If we,
my bad.
That's okay. If we don't sleep, would we be sleeping the next day? Because I slept, I think it was Q3. Q3, right?
You slept today, so you're okay.
So it'd be okay. So is it possible then?
Is he going to train some more?
No. Well, I did kind of think about that, but I think it'd be kind of weird in the middle of the night. But just the idea of him being maybe if he can get up on the watchtower and see if he can spot fires in the distance. I don't expect, obviously, in the middle of the night to see the orcs or the Rust brothers, but I think Conn's probably a little paranoid that the Rust brothers are eventually going to show up here, and it's got him on edge.
Okay. So maybe we could represent it this way. It sounds like a little bit of maybe some scouting from the watchtower and maybe even some sort of camaraderie and befriending of some of the guards, right?
Sure.
But you're up there with them and you're telling them what you've seen and you're telling them which direction to look in. They maybe share a little nip of what they've got in their flasks, right? When it's 3 o'clock. When it's 3 o'clock in the morning, that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
Okay,
cool.
So Q4, you are not resting.
No,
you're up all night.
Yeah.
I can walk down the line here. You guys need to shout it out. What's the rest of your plans for Q4? Garm.
Q4 or Q1?
My bad. Midnight is Q1. It's Q1 the next day, isn't it? Yep.
Okay. And then was us just double checking in Q3? Did we all sleep and eat?
Correct.
Or were you just okay? So I don't
Correct.
necessarily have to sleep now. I could sleep later.
That's exactly what Conn just did, where you got your sleep for the day already.
Gotcha. Okay.
So sorry, you're exactly right. Q3 was when afternoon, you guys all slept in the afternoon. And then Q4 was the evening that you spent that we just described. So this is the next day.
I think. Do I want to do this now? Garm is going to continue practicing. He's
all night, baby.
All night, yeah.
That lathered up pork.
Right? Yeah, he's gonna go take a dip in the river before he comes into town. But he's gonna continue practicing and he's gonna train Path of the Shield 3.
Damn.
Finish that off.
All right.
Love it.
So spend 9 more XP.
Just ignore that. Askelon, what are you doing after the
so Q4 we just what now? Sorry.
I just said that she turns in, around 11 o'clock at night, midnight type of thing, closes up the temple.
leaving Askelon to do.
Okay, so that was just. I just want to make sure I understand that
was
that
Q4.
quarter was just us bonding and getting to know each other. I didn't do any training. That's going to be. I'll do that next day.
That is correct.
Okay. I will ask her when was the most convenient time to meet again the next day before she heads out.
Yeah, and she says the evenings are good if you're willing to come back and speak with me more. We can talk about other things as well, path of healing and whatnot.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
The daytimes are busy as I'm looking after the citizens of the village. The evenings are good.
He says if I can help with that tomorrow, please let me know.
During the day?
Yeah.
Come by in the morning.
Okay. I guess I know what I'm doing then.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, she doesn't mean midnight. She means 8 a.m.
Right. I know. So, okay. So this is going to be, so you're asking that's finishing up Q4. You're asking what I'm doing Q1.
Correct. Which is midnight to 6.
Oh, okay. I just slept a little while ago, so I think I will. Sorry. I will. I haven't actually. I don't want to spend any experience until I figure out what's going on here. I guess I will go back to the inn, and I will. Again, I'm just trying to kind of ingratiate myself with the people here and hear what's going on. So I will talk with my friends if any of them are up, and I will, sing a couple songs if there are people that are still up. And then I'll, head on to bed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So a bit of a combination of see who's around the inn and get some rest. So without going into too much detail, there is someone else staying at the White Raven, a scarred treasure hunter whose name is Siga. Siga sits with a drinking horn and his boots up and just listens to you as you're singing. But I would imagine you're not going to do this all night. Remember, this is midnight to 6, so probably 2 a.m. he just raises his flagon to you.
Sure.
And says, where are you and your fellows going? I saw you come in today.
You're headed downriver. Yes.
Dangerous way, that.
You know of this way? I'd like to hear about it.
He says, I do. He raises his horn and says, but it's late. If you're here tomorrow, we can talk.
Maybe around midday or so. That would be great. Thank you.
He nods.
All
right. So if you want to take a note,
some rest.
Yeah, you can meet with Siga, Siga, tomorrow to talk about the way forward down the river. And then Stas, Q1, midnight to 6. After you've struck, you haven't struck a deal, but you've gotten an offer negotiated with Stom, and you've figured out what you would do differently next time. You've been at the inn the whole time.
I really want to get to rank 2 of Path of Lies, but I don't know.
There is the drinking hole that we discussed earlier.
Yeah, I'll probably visit that for sure. Yeah,
sounds like a good place to lie.
The sinkhole.
Yeah, I'll weave some tales and see how many people I can get to bite on it.
Okay, so Stas finds his way to the sinkhole, which is that barely lit, low rafter, duck your head to get in the door kind of place. It's cold and damp down there, but the cheap wine and beer flows. I think you'll probably have to spend some money doing this.
Well, it all depends on how much. I think it's the question.
Tell me about Patholize. What does it do? Level 2.
Patholize. So I have rank 1. Rank 2 does when you manipulate an NPC to make him believe what you're saying, regardless of whether it's true or not, you can spend a willpower point to succeed automatically. And I can do it after I roll. I could roll first and then decide to use it.
And what does level 2 do versus level 1?
That's level 2.
What's level 1 do for you?
Level 1 is if you spend a willpower point when speaking with an NPC, the GM must reveal if the NPC is lying or not. But you don't have to reveal what exactly the NPC is lying about.
But they're not telling the whole truth. I got you.
Right.
I got you.
The goal is to get to rank 3. Because see what so what's happening with the peddler is the talents are very socially based. And if we're out in the middle of nowhere, they're not gonna do anything. Like Path of Gold is like, oh, you always have a gold piece. Fantastic.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It is if you have the opportunity to use it.
Yeah.
If not, it's a rank 3 kind of thing, and that's so Patholize, I'd be able to talk to anybody on the road anywhere and use that.
Right.
And eventually on rank 3, you manipulate someone, and when you manipulate someone and succeed, you can spend a willpower point to avoid doing something in return. Because see social conflict. So they're the rules for social conflict. And then your opponent also loses the ability to attack you. So what you are asking must still be reasonable according to the GM's assessment. So if we run into folks, I'd be, oh, hey, can we just talk this out? So what's going on? Hey. And see if
folks that weren't harpies or undead or griffins.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of bad humans and elves and dwarves and goblins and halflings around.
Yes, there are. So, all right, so let's go ahead and make your wits roll, unless this is just stepping it up, right? So you just automatically do it. Yeah, you don't need a wits roll, right?
For level 2?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let me look.
Once you started the path. Start the path, you need the roll, and then after that, it's just what Kevin and Phil just did.
Oh, okay.
And just step it up. So you just spend it.
How many is it for the second rank? Same?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yes, I think it's 6.
Patholize. Rank 2, oink.
And I would also I'll let you pick. You can throw either performance or manipulation.
Okay.
And the more successes you get, the less this whole stint's going to cost you in the bar all night.
Okay. All right, here goes my manipulation.
We're going to start with 3. Okay, you're going to roll 3. Unless you push it. You can push it.
I'll definitely push it.
Okay. But you've got one earn some willpower.
3.
Oh, you do it. I was going to say it's going to cost you 3d6 in copper, but each success takes off a d6. You got out of there without spending a dime. So you had everybody else in the bar pay for your drinks all night.
Right, because I'm telling them tales.
Yep. Yeah.
See if they believe me.
So you stagger back at 6 a.m. to the White Raven.
Pretty much.
Nice. But you guys wanted time to do all your skills and talents and stuff, and wow. You're not kidding around. Sleep. Who needs sleep? I train more. Oh dear. All right, let's put a pin in it right there. If that's okay, and we'll pick up Q2 of the next day. Correct?
Yes.
That sound right?
Yep.
Okay. Got my calendar set. And we can do experience if nobody has anything else they want to cover before we dive into that.
Sure.
Okay. Did you participate?
Yes.
Did you travel
Yep.
through one hex? No.
No.
Did you discover a new adventure site? I'll say yes.
Okay.
There's things to do here. Did you defeat one or more monsters? What do you
Does
think?
that count as defeat?
I don't know.
We survived a griffin on the water. It's a
We
little
drove
worried
it
there.
off. We drove it
Yeah.
off.
I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
Oh.
Give yourself one for that. Did you find treasure? No. Did you build a function in your stronghold? Did you activate your pride? Did you suffer from your dark secret? Did you risk your life for another PC? You might need to think about that one.
Not me.
I don't know if anybody did tonight.
Is that it?
And then did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? That's the final one.
I think getting dropped, not dying from getting dropped off the griffin.
I think Stas needs one for the
Yep.
water
I agree.
for sure.
Sweet.
For
I'll take it.
sure. Yeah. Anybody else have anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't. Would Askelon healing Garm, like, is that extraordinary? I'm trying to think.
I thought it was
That
funny.
came up. Yeah, it was funny. It was on theme.
Do you guys think it was extraordinary? I didn't think it was particularly extraordinary.
No.
Just in terms of,
I don't
like,
know.
a moment. I think the
Mhm.
dropping into the water was kind of a moment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. That was definitely one.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's for sure. I was gonna die.
Yeah.
For sure.
welcome to the party, pal.
the dice are fickle because even with 13, chances are actually pretty good you would have lived, even with 13 dice.
Yeah. But you could have died with 7 dice too.
Could have. Totally
Yeah.
true. Totally true. All right. Well, and if that's the case, then let's wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed the session tonight.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
At some point, I'm going to be able to spend some experience points.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.